Attention passionate Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Pittsburgh Steelers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Pittsburgh Steelers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Let's get to the news now. Let's get right into it, because what I'm about to tell you is shaping up to be one of the most seismic moves in recent NFL history, especially for us Steelers fans. It's all about the possible blockbuster trade involving none other than Nick Bosa, the elite edge rusher from the San Francisco 49ers. Yeah, I know, sounds crazy, right? But if the rumors are true, and there's a real shot this deal goes down, it could redefine the AFC North landscape and give our Steelers a massive boost heading into the playoffs and beyond. Right now, the 49ers are facing some serious issues. After a rough start to the season, sitting at 4-9 and with Brock Purdy suffering a shoulder fracture in Week 10, their window is closing fast. They're in full rebuild mode, and one of their biggest assets, Nick Bosa, might be on the trade block. Why? Well, reports from sources close to Adam Schefter suggest that the Niners are considering trading Bosa in exchange for a first-round pick in 2026 and a third-round pick in 2027. What's the real kicker? This trade would save them a staggering $31 million in cap space, which they desperately need to rebuild their offensive line, currently giving up an alarming 3-2 sacks per game. That's a problem that needs fixing, especially with their offensive line aging and in dire need of fresh talent. For us Steelers fans, this isn't just about adding another star to the roster. It's about transforming our entire pass rush. Bosa, at 28 years old, is a relentless force on the field, an absolute nightmare for offensive lines. In 2025, he's already racked up 5 sacks through Week 13, leading the NFC and showing no signs of slowing down. His 18 tackles for loss, 4 forced fumbles, and a PFF grade of 92. One, which ranks among the top 3 edge rushers in the league, make him a game-changer. The advanced stats tell even more of the story. EPA per pressure at plus 0.45, which is elite, putting him in the same league as some of the best pass rushers in the game. Since entering the league in 2019, Bosa has accumulated 62 sacks and 85 tackles for loss, earning himself the Defensive Player of the Year award in 2022 after posting 18. 5 sacks and 89 hurries. Despite a knee injury that limited him to just 8 games last year, he's come roaring back in 2025, showing his dominance again with pressures that rival Myles Garrett's 2023 rampage. His win rate in pass rush situations, around 28% according to PFF, outshines even our own Alex Highsmith, who's been solid with 8 sacks in 2025. And when it comes to yards after contact allowed on runs, Bosa is exceptional, only 3-4 yards, which shows how well he maintains his leverage and stops plays cold. Now, why would the 49ers be willing to part ways with such a cornerstone? Well, it's mostly cap-related. They're facing a $15 million overage in 2026, and with their roster aging, Eric Armstead, for example, is 32 and averaging about 4 sacks per season. They need to infuse youth. Plus, with Purdy's 62% completion rate and 15 interceptions, they're clearly looking toward the draft for a new QB successor. It's a tough call for them, but one that could open the door for us to land one of the league's premier pass rushers. Of course, skeptics will say that losing Bosa might weaken the 49ers' defense, and they're not wrong. Their defense has been a powerhouse, ranked second last year, allowing around 18 points per game. Without Bosa, many believe they could slip toward the bottom half of the league's defenses, which is a big risk for a team that's built so much around their defensive front. But for us Steelers fans, the potential acquisition of Bosa is nothing short of a game-changer. With T.J. Watt still on the mend after his lung surgery, still out indefinitely, adding Bosa would turbocharge our pass rush. We'd go from a respectable 38 sacks, which puts us at 12th overall, to an eye-popping projection of over 55 sacks. That's a plus 15% increase in EPA per rush, which would be huge for our entire defense. Alongside Alex Highsmith, who's already proven himself with 8 sacks, and our stalwart Cam Hayward, who's still playing at an elite level with a PFF grade of 88. Bosa would help form what I like to call the Steel Curtain 2-0. Imagine that, an unstoppable front four, reducing opponents' yards passing from an average of 7.2 to an estimated 5.8 yards per attempt, and turning Heinz Field into a fortress. Think about the impact this could have on the standings. At 7-6, leading the AFC North, our defense is already solid. But with Bosa, we could elevate our game to a whole new level, reminiscent of the dominant Steelers' defenses of the 1970s. Specifically that legendary 1975 squad that allowed just 210 yards per game. Our offense is only going to get better with Kenny Pickett continuing to develop, especially with the addition of a quarterback like Aaron Rodgers in the mix, who's already thrown for over 200 yards and 22 touchdowns in 2025. With Rodgers at the helm, our offense gains time and reduces turnovers, just 1-4 per game so far, giving us more chances to put points on the board. That's the recipe for a serious Super Bowl run, folks. Now looking at the numbers and the projections, the Steelers could see a boost of around 200 pressures total, similar to what the Seattle Seahawks experienced after their trade for DK Metcalf in 2025, which significantly improved their pass efficiency, plus 18%. With Bosa, our pass rush could become truly terrifying, forcing offenses into mistakes and turning Heinz Field into one of the most intimidating venues in the league. And don't forget, Bosa's presence in the playoffs, where he's already had 3 career sacks, could be a real game changer. Simulations suggest that his addition could raise our chances of winning the Super Bowl from around 45% to over 60%. That's not just optimism. That's cold, hard data driven by Football Outsiders' advanced analytics. Imagine, Steelers fans, a team with a relentless pass rush that no quarterback wants to face. A defense that can clamp down on opponents and flip the field in a heartbeat. That's what Bosa would bring. It's like forging a new era of steel, an unbreakable force that echoes the legacy of Mean Joe Green but with a modern twist, ready to dominate for years to come. And if we're talking about the potential for a 7th Lombardi, this move could be the spark that ignites it all, taking us from playoff contenders to true dynasty contenders. Of course, all of this hinges on whether the 49ers are willing to part ways with Bosa and whether the Steelers can seal the deal. But the signs are interesting, and the possibility is tantalizing. With the right negotiations, we could see a Steelers defense that's reimagined, reborn, and ready to take on anyone, especially in the playoffs. It's a bold move, no doubt, but if there's one thing Steelers Nation knows, it's that we thrive on boldness, resilience, and the drive to win championships. Bosa could be the missing piece that turns our pursuit of history into reality. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Pittsburgh Steelers news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. So what do you think, Steelers fans? Is this a move we should be dreaming about? Would you trade our draft picks and cap space to bring in a player like Bosa? Or do you think the risk outweighs the reward? I want to hear your thoughts because this could be one of those defining moments in Steelers history, one that could elevate us back to the top of the league and re-establish Pittsburgh as the steel fortress of the NFL. Remember, this is more than just a rumor. It's about shaping the future, and the potential is enormous. Whether it happens or not, the fact is, the Steelers are always in the mix, always fighting, and always looking for that edge. And right now, Bosa could be that secret weapon to take us all the way to Super Bowl LX. Stay tuned, because the offseason is shaping up to be one of the most exciting in recent Steelers history, and I'll be here, breaking down every detail for you. Until then, keep the faith, keep supporting our black and gold, and let's get ready for what's next. Because in Pittsburgh, we don't just play football, we make history.